How you doing? This is me, Alester. Go for it, guy. A very beautiful, wonderful person in the Philippines, who I like to call my fiance. Although I never met her, but she's beautiful and wonderful, and I'm quite sure soon I will. So anyway, she told me that I should let you see my camper and my lawn and just kind of figure out where I live. And so here we go. And there you go. There's my truck, my car, my camper, and my lawn. So there you go. All right. I just had a strange thing happen. I was basically out here earlier trying to make a vlog, and the wind blew the tablet over. You can see that on Facebook if you want to laugh a lot. So I picked it up and talking to myself, and I basically put it back on the deck, and everything was going good. And I had just gotten to the part where I was pretty excited about the vlog was going well, and bam, wind blew the tablet over again. And I said a few things that basically, grandpas do say when they're by themselves and wind blows their tablet over. And then it dawned on me that I was cooking in the house, frying in the frying pan, and I was outside. And as my deceased wife, beautiful, wonderful person that I was with many years, she used to say, you cannot cook in the living room. Well, so that would mean you definitely cannot cook on the deck. And so I ran in there to find my hot dogs were burned. And there's smoke in the kitchen. And, that's all part of life. And that's one of the things that, that could have got me down, but I'm going to keep on going forward. I just want to say one thing. People want to be in my shoes and see how I feel about the world. I lost my mom, my son, and my wife all in a short period of time. And you walk around like a zombie for a long time. But that's what this video's about. You've got to go for it. You've got to keep going. That's why I have a beautiful woman that I video and talk with every single night and every single morning. And because you keep going. You just have to. Wise person once said to me, if you got 1 foot forward in tomorrow and you've got 1 foot behind you in yesterday, if you stay there long enough, you'll be peeing on today. So I was a very wise teacher, and as we talked about, I guess we didn't talk about because I deleted the video. Yeah, I didn't like the blog, so I deleted it. And I don't know if anybody would ever tell you they did something like that, but I did it. So one of the things that I did in that one was I talked about teachers. So now I talk about it in this one. Teachers, blade of grass, fur kids, your house, your car, your mom, your dad, your children, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your best friend, your band, everything. Just a teacher is somebody that you learn something from or you listen to, and you figured out that there's something they're saying really, or something you see that they're doing literally is something that's better than what you're doing, and maybe you should try it that way. And that's a teacher. And I've had many teachers in my life. My wives were great teachers. My girlfriend was a great teacher, and the girlfriend, fiance I have now is an excellent teacher of mine. My fur kid, Cody, he's an excellent fur kid, and he's an excellent teacher. He teaches me a lot. When he wants something, he's very verbal. And you know what? People should be more like that. There's a lot of people got everything inside, and they don't put it out. And how is people supposed to know how they feel? So there's another thing. I believe 100%, and I taught this to all my thousands of karate students every day and every week, and so many of them grew up to be so special and so very successful. And all the people I ever hired in the Fortune 500 company I worked for, a lot of them went on to be very, very special in this world. And I could mention their names and you'd say, wow. And that's, you know, hey, I'm not rich, but I had a wonderful retirement all set up with 401ks and everything. And my wife came down with cancer. It cost $21,000 a week for chemo pills to be sent to our house. And I was able to keep her with me for one more year, more than they thought I could. And so, hey, I didn't have that money anymore. And that's just the way it is, I guess. You just, you could plan for everything, but I would suggest, if you listen at all, do it now. Don't wait. If you want to go on vacation, do it now. If you want to tell somebody you like them, do it now. Have you ever noticed how many people always, when they're talking, say, I haven't seen him or her in a long time, and they're at a funeral? Now, why? I don't want nobody at my funeral that I haven't seen or heard from in a long time. I want people that are around me that care for me. I want them to know this is the last time they get to see me, and basically, you know, I'm very proud that they're there. And hell, if you think I won't know, I'll just sit up in the casket and say, hey, I told you it was going to happen, and here I am. Well, you know, but that's how I feel. When I was 7 years old, I lost my dad, as I've already told you, on New Year's Eve. And I was an angry person, very angry 8-year-old. And we used to live in a 3-story place on the outskirts of the city where basically it was a bad area. Because not too far down the road were bad people. So when I was mad. I wouldn't listen to my mom, obviously. Mom was doing her best to keep us going. And what I did, I used to climb out my bedroom window and go out on the roof and wander up and down the second and the third floor roof. And it's absolutely no doubt that was probably one of the stupidest things that I've ever done as a child, because I could have fallen off at any time. But you know, I was angry, and sometimes it helped me a lot. I used to go out and I used to sleep in my blanket when Mom would be working downstairs and the babysitter would be watching TV, and I would just sneak out my window and go out on the second floor roof, and I would just get my blanket and I'd go out there and they'd be looking all over for me, and then they'd shine a flashlight and they'd say, would you get in here? And of course I'd go in. Winter came. I was still very angry, but I found a way to deal with it. If you remember how bad the snow was back in those days when we were kids, the snow would be, you know, this high on the intersections and in the ditches and on the sides of the road. And I made an igloo. And that igloo, I put a lot of snowballs inside it. And then I sat and waited. We had 2 stop signs and a fast street that went straight through. And the state trooper pulls up in his car, and I welted that car with all those snowballs. And then, I think he got mad because he got out and screamed at me. And I'm only a little 8-year-old. And I'm running, and I go up to hide in my apartment. And I'm only there for a couple minutes, and there's this knock on the door. Knock, 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 knock. And Mom said, what'd you do now? Now, that's not nice for a mom, is it? And I started to say, Mom, why do you think I did anything? I have 2 little brothers smaller than me and a sister. Well, okay. And now I have an adopted brother who's great. But literally, at that time, there was just the 3 boys and the girl. She opened the door, and it was that state trooper. He was a monster. He was like, he looked like the Jolly Green Giant to me. And I run from my room, went out on the roof, and Mom didn't come to the door of my bedroom or come to the window. The trooper did. And he said, get in here. And so, you know, he's big, and he's the cops. So I came back through the window. And he kind of did one of these. You ever had anybody do that? And took me into the living room. And he said, are you going to spank him for that? And she goes, he don't listen to me. You spank him. And you know what? He did. Whack, 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 whack. And then he said, you're probably a good kid. But remember this. And then he left. I never threw any more snowballs. And I never, how would I put it? I never did anything that was going to get me spanked again. There's a principle. It's called the peak-to-peak principle that I live my life by. Taught to me by a martial arts master. And as you know, or if you don't know, I ran 5 schools in martial arts for 27 years. Taught thousands of students and basically enjoyed every single one of them, whether they were children or whether they're people my age. And we had an amazing school. I got taught by some really special people and went on to own my own schools. And I got promoted to a black belt master instructor, and I went on to win a lot of trophies. And all my kids and adults, they won over 1,000 trophies in tournaments and fighting and forums and stuff. And I got to train with movie stars and all of that. But the major thing about martial arts that I loved was the philosophy. Because the philosophy, I believe 100% made me who I am today. What the mind can conceive and believe, the mind will achieve. I learned this thing called a peak-to-peak principle I want to leave with you for the day. And what it was the master said you can climb up the mountain any way you want by going around it, crisscross, or straight up like a ladder. The goal is to get to the top of the mountain, whatever that mountain in your world is, whatever you want to achieve. P-E-A-K means you made it to the top, and you're up there. But then you see a bigger mountain, something that's even more impressive to you than what you've already accomplished. And that's P-E-E-K. Now, the successful people, they just go down that little mountain and run for the big mountain. And then they just start climbing that mountain. That's what I can leave you with today. Find the mountain that you want to climb it, get to the top, and see if that's where you want to be, or you want to be more successful to that and get to the next mountain. Until the next video, thank you very much. Please subscribe. I'm doing this because I don't have a lot of friends. While I was trying to be successful in the life and world, my family and everybody in my band, I guess that people just didn't like me because I always went for it. The worst thing you can tell somebody is, or you can hear, is it must be nice. Because it is nice. And that, when a person says it must be nice, that means they think they're not worthy of having what it is that they're looking at. That they don't think they deserve it. And that's something that's terrible. You should never, ever say that about yourself. This is Alester. Hit that thing that says up. Hit that bell. Subscribe. And I'll come out with another video soon. Go for it.